Here we are, the Winford, my old haunt. I've got precisely 1 million photographs of trolleys. Of course I made another one. When Robyn saw this photo, she mentioned that she feels as if I photograph trolleys like they're people. I like that. Years ago, when I made my first trolley photo, if I'd realised just how overdone they were, I'd probably have avoided them altogether. But here I am, picking them off still, one by one. But despite this, I do still find photos of trolleys interesting. So I guess an original subject matter is just my destiny, and I'm going to own it. I lived on the Winford for a couple of years and ended up in a position where I had to move on. But we like to come back on occasion because there's some nice walks nearby, and the dogs really enjoy it. I'm hoping to have a harness by the next video, so I can attach my video camera to it while walking around for some point of view shots. In the meantime, this handheld stuff will have to do. There was no real aim behind this video other than I was going for a walk and took the M10-R with me. It's been raining solidly and was due to be that way for the next 10 days. When the sun unexpectedly came out, we made the most of it. This is about as close as I get to street photography, because I'm a coward. There's an unreasonable amount of tunnels and bridges in this video, and I take photos in all of them. Our dogs love a photo op, especially when it's followed by treats. The psychedelic graffiti made a welcome change to the typical slurs and dicks littering the walls. Admittedly though, dick graffiti will always be hilarious. I only caught the tail end of this zoomy. Marshall saw a dog, and his reaction was to excitedly leave it in the dust and run round the entire field in celebration before realising he wasn't actually being chased. Here's some forbidden corn dogs. Even though it would have been nice to try and shoot from a little higher to create more separation from the fence, I like the layers in this photo. Lo and behold, we're under another bridge. This bridge is different to the previous three because it's for trains to cross the valley. There's no photos of the actual track though, because I was 75 feet below, and no matter how hard I try, my go-go gadget arms just don't work like they used to. The walk from the Winford along a Kelvin eventually crosses into the Woodland of Dawsholm Park. You'll probably notice the 4x5 crops in almost all of these photos. It's something I found myself into at the moment. Large format is out of the question, but I couldn't possibly be considering a nice medium format camera now, could I? Time will tell. Robyn and Marshall marched on, but Pete hung back while I photographed a tree stump. I didn't realise he was waiting with me, and the photo of the tree stump was rubbish, so here's a portrait of Pete instead. As we left the park, we walked down beside a field and I wanted a photo of the cows. The only problem was that they weren't interested in looking my way at all. After a while of trying to get their attention, I gave up and just fired off a shot anyway. As it turns out, I actually really like the photo. I like how the cows are positioned in the lower half of the frame. Them all being completely uninterested in me was what makes it, with a nice bit of lens flare coming in from the top corner of the frame. After that, Robyn took my place. Woman of nature, cow whisperer. They surrounded us. I fired off some more shots. I prefer the original of them all looking away, though I do quite like this one. Fucking hell! Ugh. I just took a sip from my tea and put the cup down on the side and got the headphones on. Just felt deafened, mate. It's like a cannon. The last stretch of walk joins the canal, though the walk back was temporarily halted when I discovered an old tunnel.
You going down?
Truth be told, I slid down the hill out of curiosity, and when I realised I couldn't as easily scramble back up without getting completely soiled, I had to make it worthwhile. I don't know the purpose of the tunnel, but I suspect it's something to do with the old railway. There's plenty of these tunnels under Glasgow, it's just that most of them are more successfully fenced off. Look at me, confidently marching to my imminent death. And Pete too, apparently. Now, I don't know about you, but this is the last place I'd think to come and test out my painting skills, but whatever. The tunnel continued into black. There's Robyn, awaiting my return.
It's minging.
What, it's scary?
It's awful, yeah.
I'm gonna go in.
Do it.
I fired off a frame of Robyn before she embarked on her journey into the tunnel. She was never seen again. Just kidding. We carried on. I was unsure about this photo, so I took it twice to ensure it was bad times 2. Robyn prefers the portrait, I prefer the landscape. You can fight to the death in the comments about which photo looks the best. This was one of Marshall's very first long walks when he was a puppy. It completely floored him, and he pretty much slept the next 2 days solid. Our daily walk was usually way shorter. But as he got older, we eventually made this route our daily walk. And here I present various objects by or in the canal. If you saw my Instagram back when I used it, you'd be familiar with this tower block. I photographed them to actual death.
Good move. Good move. Thank you.
This was the furthest of the 2 that I could see from my flat when I lived way up on the 19th floor. It was some view, and the closest of the 2 was responsible for the greatest photograph I will ever take. Look at it. Being immediately around these towers now fills me with absolute anxiety, but thankfully that feeling doesn't present when looking at the photograph, which is a relief as it hangs in my living room as the largest print I've ever made. And if you find yourself wondering, that bleak hell tower would look lovely on my wall, does he do prints? Well, the answer is yes. Yes, I do. Get in touch and I'll sort you right out. Anyway, enough of that. Here's some more photos as I walked around the tower block. And this is the end of the video, and if I'm honest, it's probably my favourite photo of the day. Which reminds me, for Valentine's Day, Robyn wrote me a list of my most lovable qualities. One being, how much you love a photo of something shit.